roots down. And you don't dare dream beyond your means. That's how it goes in a small town.
Hi, this is Ashley Vaughn. We're hanging out here at Wild West with Josh Grider. So Josh, tell me, are you excited for the performance tonight?
Yes, it'll be a great night. Happy to be in Lubbock.
So tell me a little bit about your past. How did you grow up and where?
I'm from Las Cruces, New Mexico. I was born and raised out there. I moved to Texas when I graduated high school. But grew up on country music. My dad played all those old country records, you know, and my mom sang to us when we were kids, and I just have always liked to sing. I taught myself how to play guitar when I was in high school and wrote my first song for this girl that I had no chance with, but I thought it might give me a shot. And I don't know, kind of bit by the bug, moved out here. Actually went to Baylor and started a band there, and I just hadn't quit yet.
So when did you really first decided that you wanted to make music a career for you?
I don't know. It's just kind of always, I don't know. I've never wanted to do anything else really. So I made the conscious decision. I quit working a day job about 2005, 2006, I guess. And there's been lean times where I've had to pick up a little work here and there, but music's been more or less my only job since about 2005. But I like I said, I can't remember a time that I didn't want to do this.
So as far as other musicians go, or other artists in general, who do you look up to, or who do you maybe aspire to be like, or is there anyone who really influenced your sound?
Well, I studied music when I went to school, and I've always played, you know, just all kinds of music. I love, you know, all kinds. I think you can hear the influences of just, you know, all the American music, jazz, blues, rock, all that stuff, you know, but country has always been the foundation of my music. And my dad, you know, raised us up. I mean, Haggard is just great. You know, Roger Miller is probably my all-time just favorite writer and singer and artist, you know, from the old days. And then, you know, the new stuff. I love, you know, kind of that progressive bluegrass stuff like Nickel Creek stuff, Chris Steele. I'm a John Mayer fan. I think John Mayer does some really, really cool stuff. So, I mean, I listen. I got a really diverse iPod.
Okay, so what about in your life or personally, what inspires you, or the days when it gets hard or you don't know if you're going to keep going? Who, or what really keeps you going or inspires you?
Mostly credit card collectors. No, I got a great family. I got a wife and son and a baby on the way, so they definitely help keep you grounded and you know, give you reason to do that next gig, you know, make some money, earn a living for the family and stuff. So yeah, my family is definitely the inspiration and the grounding force behind all this.
So as for the songs that you've written, is there a certain song, or would you pick a song that's like the closest to your heart, or maybe a favorite?
Yeah, probably like the last one I wrote. This is like every next song is my favorite, you know, until Crazy Like You has just been such a great song for me. As far as people reacting to it, you know, and buying it and it being at people's weddings and stuff like that. So that song is, you know, of the ones I've written is special to me because it's afforded me a lot of opportunity. Just my favorite all-around song. I love, you know, the title cut of this last EP is called The Getting There, and it's pretty real snapshot just about, you know, it's kind of one of those, it's about the journey, not the destination, you know, and I just feel like I'm just, you know, on a journey, you know, heading somewhere. I don't know where, you know, to be determined, but we got a gig in Lubbock tonight, so we're happy about that.
So what are your goals or your plans for the near and far future?
Keep rocking, writing songs. I'm actually, we're going into the studio in November to record some new tracks for a new album that'll be out hopefully early next year. Throughout the fall, we got some cool stuff. We're going to Las Vegas for the National Finals Rodeo. Going to do some stuff out there with Cody Johnson, and we'll be headed to Steamboat and just doing all the things up and down the road. Just write songs and find places to play them. It's all it's ever been.
Well, we're excited to see you tonight, and we're glad that you're here. So will you, I know this is hard since you're from Baylor, but will you sign us off with me here?
Yeah, okay.
Ready?
What do you say? What are we saying?
Wreck 'em Tech.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Wreck 'em Tech.
With your old set of wheels and a full tank of gas. Hold on the time, boy, it's gonna go fast. First invitation, what it's like to be free. Summer 16.
Right now, they're irresponsible
Ashley Vaughn, and we're hanging out here with Curtis Grimes. So, Curtis, are you excited for the concert tonight?
Absolutely, and we are always excited when we get to come out here to Lubbock and hang out with all you crazy tech kids.
So, just tell me a little bit about how you grew up first.
I grew up in small town East Texas. Did a lot of baseball. Baseball was my thing. I did the whole year-round, summer ball, fall ball, regular season. But anyways, then I eventually got a scholarship to go play baseball at Centenary College in Shreveport, and I quit halfway through my freshman year. Got a guitar, started doing the music thing, and just kind of got some lucky breaks along. I've been doing it about 5 years, like full on, with the band, the whole deal, and we've got to open for Kenny Chesney early on, and then I got to do the voice thing a couple years later. So I've been able to do some cool things in a short amount of time.
So, what moment did it really hit you that music was your thing and this is what you were going to make your life?
I got on probation the first one, suspension the second semester. So I had to take a semester off, and that next semester we did the Kenny Chesney thing. So I kind of justified it as in, all right, well, either go for school, always be there. So you can either go with it or go back to school. So I went for music, and it's been good to me so far.
So, as far as other artists go, who do you look up to, or is there anyone that's really inspired your sound or anything like that?
I grew up on a lot of George Strait and Alan Jackson, Clay Walker. I like the voices. And Chris Young is another newer one that really likes voice. But George Strait is obviously the man, in my opinion. And if I had to pick and choose whose career I would follow, it would be his, for many obvious reasons. But I don't know. I like the traditional country stuff, and that's kind of what I grew up on. So that's what I like to sing.
So, what about personally? Is there anyone in your life or anything in your life that, whenever things get hard or get tough, that inspires you to keep going?
Man, I guess for me, kind of getting through the transition period was sitting down and playing my guitar and writing songs. So that's kind of got me through some critical stages in my life. So it's I kind of roll with that and use it for what it's worth and what it's done for me.
And what about, of all the songs that you've written, is there a certain song that's really closest to your heart or a favorite song that you have?
I would say our last single, "Home to Me," that one means a lot to me because a lot of people didn't hear about us before the voice. So kind of we got that, Curtis Grimes from the voice stuff. Well, crap, we'd been playing for a couple years before that, hitting the road hard. So at the end of I wanted to get something out that kind of summed me up at the end of the day, kind of how I still feel about it. And I still feel like the same small town kid from East Texas that started off playing acoustic outside of Austin a few years back. So that one, "Home to Me," would be my favorite one.
So tell me about the voice. That must have been an incredible experience. Tell
And
me
it
about
was.
it.
I learned a lot about how reality TV works and kind of what all goes on behind the scenes. But I learned a lot, like I said, about that, and got a lot of exposure. It opened us up to markets that we weren't playing in, or outside of the radio stations that were playing us, and got us going out of state and being able to take our music in my band and do what we do just outside of the limits we were at.
So right now, what are your short-term goals? Like in this next year, what are you hoping that really happens?
We're releasing a brand new record here in January. I've been in the studio with Trent Willman working on that. So short-term goal would be to release that thing and have a lot of success and get as much as we can out of that. It's our first full-length produced studio album. So have that record be a hit. I don't know how soon this is going to happen, but one goal for me is to headline Billy Bob's, just because it's kind of a staple place if this is your job. Get our first #1 on the radio.
Yeah,
This is we just released a brand new single from that album, "The Cowboy Kind," and it was our first song to debut in the first week, get the most spins, the most ads, and all that stuff. So it's starting off really good so far. This is just week 1, so that would be a cool short-term goal too, is to get our first #1 on the books.
So you said this album's releasing in January?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a title track for this one?
I don't know. I'm leaning. There's one track on the record that's called "Our Side of the Fence," and I thought that's a good way to kind of sum me up. So I'm leaning towards that, but we hadn't settled anything yet.
Okay, so what are your long-term goals? Like where do you see yourself 10, 20 years down the road? What are you hoping, ultimate dream goal, what could happen?
I honestly would love to be doing exactly what I'm doing right now, on a bigger scale, traveling more comfortably. Like, that makes sense.
makes
you know?
sense,
We're in the
yeah.
van and trailer. Not, I don't want to be like, I don't know, dream too high, but it would be nice to be rolling around on a bus, you know,
Yeah.
not having to worry about money and just go out and playing the music we love. And like I said, doing the same thing now, just a little more comfortably.
So what advice would you give to an aspiring artist or someone who was where you were 5 years ago? What advice would you give them?
Play as much as possible, anywhere and everywhere you can. I started off playing at a El Arroyo Mexican restaurant happy hour, and it was like 100 degrees outside, and we got margaritas and queso, like $50. But that's where I started off at. That was my first like regular gig. So anywhere and everywhere you can play, and every time you play, you get better. You get better. So keep at it. And then early on for me, I spent a lot of time sitting in my dorm room or at the house learning how to play the thing. So that's just play as much as possible, and you get better and things fall into place. And it's funny to see how things go. And it's not exactly the route that you plan or you have in mind, but it's funny how it works out.
All right, well, y'all be sure to check out his album coming out in January. We'll hear the title track for that soon.
That's right.
Will you sign me off with us here?
We sure will.
Ready? One,
Yes, ma'am.
2, 3.
Wreck 'em
Wreck 'em Tech.
You got to be wondering, are you got room